Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I am Ashwin Nandiyeshas of 3rd BA Applied Economics, and today I am here to talk about tragedy of commons in Kuttikkanam. Now, before we learn what tragedy of commons in Kuttikkanam is or what kind of tragedy of commons occur in Kuttikkanam town, let us first understand what exactly is tragedy of commons. Tragedy of commons basically refers to a problem that occurs when people tend to overconsume a public good, but no one wants to preserve it, as preserving that particular good, even by just a single person, does not leave more for the person who preserves. That is, there is no incentive for an individual to preserve the good. Let us take an example as tuna fishing. When fishermen fish in in international waters, if a single fisherman tries to preserve the tuna population, it does not leave more fish for the fisherman for the next day. That is, it does not result in increase in the tuna population, but instead just leaves more fish for other fishermen to catch. And thus, since there is no benefit for a single individual, no individuals try to preserve the good good in question, or the common good in question, and thus the tragedy of commons occurs. Now, let us see what exactly the tragedy of commons in Kuttikkanam town is, specifically with related to cattle. As I've told you before, tragedy of commons is when people tend to overuse certain public spaces or goods, which causes those places or goods to degrade in nature or deplete, and thus causing inconvenience for everyone else, or thus reducing the overall quality of the satisfaction obtained from usage. Now, tragedy of commons in Kuttikkanam. While there are many different types of tragedy of commons around Kuttikkanam, the one of the main components, or one of the main tragedy of commons, is the one caused by cattle population in Kuttikkanam, mainly due to cow herders or owners or breeders releasing their cattle openly into the town. As shown in the pictures below, we can see certain damages caused by these animals. Now, when these damages occur, it causes tragedy of commons. Now, let us learn in detail what exactly the problems or tragedy of commons caused by these cattle in Kuttikkanam are. When these cow herders release these cattle into the town or into public spaces, they are saving money on large areas of land to excise their cattle, large amounts of cattle feed, grass, etc. As the cows tend to feed on public waste, public plants, etc. around the town. Now, the main problems this causes a huge amount of damage or degradation to the public good known as the Kuttikkanam town, or the public space known as Kuttikkanam town. Some ways of how these cattle cause problems in the town are: 1. They tend to spread various insects, diseases, etc., or various microbes or microorganisms from their bodies across the town. 2. They tend to eat various vegetation all over the town, reducing the overall green aspect of or natural aspect of the town. 3. They tend to cause roadblocks, or tend to scare tourists and other pedestrians, etc., causing uh, reduction in pedestrian as well as vehicular traffic, and even problems for vehicular traffic, which can lead to accidents. 4. They tend to defecate, or let's see, they tend to defecate all over the town, in roads, inside pedestrian walkways, etc., causing large amounts of discomfort as well as aesthetic loss to the town or public spaces. They tend to get into waste bags or waste disposal areas and tend to eat or spread around these wastes all over town. These are some of the problems caused by tragedy of commons in Kuttikkanam, as even if one farmer or one owner decides not to send their cattle out, it will only mean increasing costs for them and does not mean reduction or more benefits for them. Thank you. With this, I have concluded my presentation on tragedy of commons in Kuttikkanam.